Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Army Overlord, and welcome to the Sunday of the Super Week. And here with me is
Fridge, and I'm very excited to be by your side casting this one. Pretty good friends with pretty much all the players on both teams here, so
right, and not too surprising as well. We had more bugs happened, and coincidentally, I even had the same bugs that happened earlier. So this is these people have already actually pre-started the game and got themselves ready and into it, and they were only minutes into the game
Yes,
before
sir.
I chimed in and said, "Hey, uh, if I remember correctly, these guys are supposed to be playing right now." So I better make sure that I ask them in advance to see if they are even interested at all in, getting things ready. So these bands are coming out here as both teams are well aware of the champions they are allowed to play and the bands that they're allowed to ban.
Hesitation
So
is
I
yeah,
think
they've all picked everything up already, so they're just gonna rush through the ban phase.
as they should, and thank goodness for that as well, since we're a little bit quite behind schedule,
Howdy,
just like we were
Funny.
last time. Hopefully, we can get ourselves right into the action immediately and as quickly as possible. Um,
Yeah,
Fridge, you were
okay.
with them, by the way, if I remember
I
correctly.
was, I was,
Yeah, you were helping me out. You were casting for me. It was
I
really
was,
nice of you.
I was solo casting just to annoy you, but
You misled me, man. You misled the heck out of me. Thought you were still doing all this work and everything. I was like, oh my goodness.
I didn't have the stream key or anything, so I should have just let you believe it, but.
And I believed it indeed. Well, it looks like Kaiserma is going to be taking Shen, and Hamcam currently sitting on Zac, while Olaf and Sejuani appear to be the top and junglers at this time.
Cam was
Rek'Sai
on the
seems to be
rec
the best.
side.
You're here for context to make sure that they didn't switch at the last second or do anything, different.
I was busy taking a nap.
How could you have been taking a nap and casting at me at the same time?
I talk in my sleep.
known in a poor
Weak talk.
alternative.
That's crazy. You're crazy.
I'm a sleep caster.
I guess so. Ooh, the sharp sounds of a very angry pianist of Sona,
Draven out.
as well as Draven's been tagged out as well.
It's actually Draven.
Draven. That's how I remember calling it. I don't know. Just use his accent and then just say it. I'm pretty sure it just rolls off the tongue. I've never smiled quite as much
They disgrace
as
the art
saying
of
the
war.
word Draven. Quite like the way Draven says it. And like, how can you not grin?
I think my favorite is the Broloff skin when he dies and just says "Your mom."
Your mom! Certainly got him, that's for sure. Animaniac appears to be... so these are all the same picks that they did in the previous game, so no change in variety whatsoever from either side here. It's going to be 100% the same as before. So I'm quite interested to see what that is going to be, because Always Hostile is playing with their starting lineup, the ones that they've practiced and got good training with over the week, where Guardian Gaming, due to some management issues, had eventually lost quite a large number of players, and we have like multiple people who, we have the 80 carry playing top. We had yesterday Ricky Ninja playing top. Now he's going back to his jungle spot. We had Lunar Echo, who was a jungler as well, now playing mid lane. Emmy Alice is supposed to be the support, is now playing 80 carry, and Ares is playing the support for the team as well. So it's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of roster shuffles after this past week.
Indeed. Oh, it looks like I'm getting some quick reminders of the situation. Apparently, DG Legend is saying that they didn't really get that much practice, and neither in Hamcam's opinion did he get much practice at all. So no good practice actually from their side here. Perhaps I may have misunderstood how much time and availability they had, but regardless, it is still, I think, a statistical advantage in the favor of always hostile here because they just happen to have, they have people they are confident with and have played in their respective roles.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you do have most of Guardian has been together for a while, whereas we have a new team here on the side of Always Hostile, relatively new, anyways.
Something tells me this wasn't what the ban situation was all about.
No, they picked Teemo last time. You missed it. They decided to ban it this time because they don't want to play against it.
Fridge, this is a serious thing. People are taking you seriously. You can't say that.
Of course I can. I just did.
No, you're crazy, man. You're actually really crazy. That's against the rules if your accusation is correct.
To be honest, I'm a little surprised anyone believes anything I say.
You're a position of power, Fridge.
Well,
you're a trustworthy guy as well.
I have been known to abuse power, so
I suppose so, considering your Cho'Gath is one of the most devastating top laners. Ever since you found out the secret stone plate ability, you can just make Cho'Gath just nearly one-shot somebody,
Yeah, Cho'Gath is pretty fun, and now we just got these recent buffs. So I've been toying around with some stuff. I'm not going to share too many details on it, but not yet. I might need those secrets later. You never know.
I see. Well, with about a minute 20 seconds left here, I'm only going to point out that our situation currently is once again a resume of what happened last time. Another behind schedule situation. Not to mention the fact that Animaniac is also having, apparently according to his teammates, some issues in his bowels. Apparently going to be having some of... Oh, wait a second. My chicken tendencies already?
Wait, what?
Oh, my chicken tendies. Oh, not tendencies. Oops.
Yeah, you had me confused for a second there.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm looking at Rock On 646 here. A good old friend of mine, Steve. Quite nice of him to drop in and give some support of this situation while you and I are casting. Good friend of mine.
And while we're at it, anyone that's out there, there was some client bugs, but we're gonna try and get the hashtag on Twitter started. The hashtag Army forgot his password.
That's not true. Stop. It's not true. I was having a login client bug. That was not my fault.
Let's get that trending, and be sure and tag Duo Esports in it, please.
Oh my god. Anyway, as we finally get ourselves into this game here, we'll hopefully be seeing in the very near future of some League of Legends gameplay, but so far I'm actually kind of surprised here about here we go. Forgot to post to everybody to get this Twitch situation live and ready. Oh, looks like I'm having another reconnection thing I have to do here, but I think that should just about be the last login problem I have today. I hope so, anyway.
Can only hope.
Can only.
So on a bit of a more serious note, what are you thinking with these team comps? Who do you like here?
Let's see. One of the things that I've been a little hit or miss about is Olaf. He's been used, but he hasn't been used extremely effectively, I'd say. There's been some times where I feel like he could be better in some other comps. I feel like this is one of those situations where that is that exact situation. I feel like Olaf is not exactly the one kind of for this type of gameplay, but you never know for sure. Like a guaranteed kind of thing, because here's the thing. I feel like Olaf's damage is really great, but I feel like the comp they're going up against, I don't think you want to use Olaf here. I feel like he'd be better against other types of situations where it's like we have a more standing still targets like Malzahar or a Nivea or somebody that can just kind of like be a little bit of an easier target than Syndra and Shen. Although Olaf does beat, I think Olaf can beat Shen in the lane. I think it's just a little bit, ooh, Lunar Echo apparently did not seem to time his skill shot appropriately and apparently missed his opportunity.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah, and in a reference to the Olaf pick, I don't particularly hate it.
Same.
Into this, they actually have a pretty good comp around it. They have some lockdown from Ricky Ninja and Lunar Gecko. And he can, of course, just pop Ragnarok and get a Whimsy from Ares Lulu and just run straight lines at pretty much the target of his choice, probably Animaniacs, Tristana.
Right, but at the same time, that's like a very valuable polymorph that would be most definitely used to protect the AD carry here, and using that to just directly speed up Mr. Jeremy might be a hazardous to the health, because Kaisermach can get right past Olaf with a taunt, and so can he with Ricky Ninja, so he can get to that backline quickly, and so can Hamcam, you know?
Yeah, it could definitely put them in a bad spot not having that up, but I think part of it's going to depend a little bit on whether they're ahead or behind and whether they're engaging the fights or playing a little bit more defensively.
Nice quick leash for Guardian Gaming for Ricky Ninja here. I think it was a wise decision getting Ricky Ninja back into the jungling position like he used to. As for Hamcam, who seems to be, has to use a smite here, I think he probably had to do that. That probably would have been a lot worse for him if he didn't use it in that situation.
Yeah, he got a little bit on the low side over there, but I'm interested now that they're trying to turn Rek'Sai into more of an assassin. I don't think I've seen Rek'Sai in the league since those changes. So, a little interested to see how he plans on building this.
Well, let's see how the duel between the two top laners come around here. I think the hot player of this game is going to be Lunar Echo, because a lot of these engage in team fights is going to really come down to Lunar Gecko's ultimate as well as plays here. It's going to be a lot of action as well, because I'm pretty sure Lunar is going to do whatever he can to get Digital Ninja, the jungler of Always Hostile, off balance. That's what I would imagine anyway.
Kennen, a little bit stronger as an AP now that they made the changes to him. Still haven't seen him a lot. Syndra's always been pretty strong.
Speaking of that, you can see exactly why she's really strong. Completely negated Lunar Echo's engage. That could have been a death right there for either side, but no one wanted to fully commit after the stun happened by Syndra.
Yeah, and that knockback stopped Lunar Gecko from getting his stun off as well.
It's doing a really great job of forcing bad trades by Ares, who's trying to get some extra pressure and damage onto Tristana, but the damage is just not coming through. And It's Tits is just healing out the damage that Ares is trying to perform so far. Kind of a risk, kind of a tough situation at the current time for these guys.
Yeah, Nami, very strong champion in lane. She can, obviously you get the slow from one of her abilities. Now I can't even remember the name of it. The Tide Caller's Blessing. And then the heal, which is just, it's always nice to have a heal on any support or a shield. I mean, Lulu does have a shield, but you can go in and take aggressive trades and then just step back and heal. And we see Jinx just kind of slowly getting whittled away here, and usually Tristana's relatively weak.
Oh, Syndra thinks she's got it. Digital Ninja did some extra damage, but it's going to be a little bit of that electric fire that gets away from Digital Monster. Probably not electrical fire, to be honest. It's more like he just dashed away, like spun himself up and away. But I like electrical fire. It sounds like a good one.
I've noticed you're mixing up a couple names here. You said Digital Ninja a couple of times.
Digital Ninja? Oops.
Yeah.
Digital Monster, Lunar Gecko. There we go. I got it. You know, when you gotta like wake up when you normally wake up in the noontime to get things, you know, get your day going, to immediately go right into a League of Legends game after that, it's just, you know, it's a wake-up call for me, and I gotta get myself right into the action again.
I'm almost non-existent if I wake up before noon.
Ah, yeah. I know, I was like kind of dragging you out of bed halfway, trying to get you to come over here and talk with me.
Yeah, why did I do that?
I don't know.
That was my first mistake of the day.
Jeremy trying to get some pressure onto Kaiser Ma. The damage between the two of them are quite lethal, but it looks like Olaf's going to spend every ounce of his mana here. He's going to be playing it. Jeremy's playing at a disadvantage here, only with his true damage ability available.
Yeah, he's I'm probably just gonna push this wave up and then he's gonna back, I'm assuming.
Indeed.
Just have a little bit of mana, he can throw one more axe before he bails, but the nice thing about having an energy champion like Shen is the regen is so quick you can just spam it a little bit more.
Well, looks like he's going to use some of that true damage to pressure in on Kaiser Ma, who does have a small advantage against Jeremy, but not large enough to beat him in a one-on-one. Looks like Jeremy's going to take what he can out of that situation, realize he doesn't have any mana, and decides to back off and leave. But speaking of back off and leave, it's Tits. He uses the bubble well, effectively completely negating the gank. Good job by Nami in the bubble.
Yeah, it's that's such a great ability if you can land it. It's great for catching someone out, getting a kill, or just disengaging. Either way works if you can land it. It's really great.
Indeed. Looks like Shen giving off some signal fires. That Olaf ain't top lane anymore, guys. Be careful. That is a level 6 Olaf. That is dangerous.
Yeah, I'm a little interested to see. He grabbed Flash. Half the time you see Olaf's go Ghost, and half the time you see Flash. I don't really know what the right decision would be. I prefer Ghost, personally.
I can agree with that. Makes sense to me. Olaf now given the same MIA pings at the top side as Shen currently is sitting near that bush, looking over to see that Sejuani is currently taking a camp right now. Interesting thought process here, as it looks like Sejuani is now walking over a control ward, and in between both Hamcam and Syndra, is this going to be an engage play? He does use a smite here to confirm the crab. Great job by Ricky Ninja, but it looks like a fight is definitely about to break out here. Hamcam's getting some damage in. It's going to be some extra damage, but it looks like Lunar Echo's going to come back in with his own. Here comes Shen with the ultimate. It's not enough. And it's going to be Kennen that will immediately take advantage of the double kill of the situation, getting himself a nice double kill by Lunar Echo. Really great job.
Good reaction from Lunar Echo there. Jumped in, used his ultimate, cleaned up the double kill when it looked like Ricky was going to get caught out, and they burned Kaiser Ma's ultimate as well. So
Digital Monster had
a couple minutes.
Digital Monster had no time whatsoever to set up or make anything happen. Looks like Jeremy is about to fight Kazuma. I think he may have used it. Oh no, never mind. He decides to just get some trade back and run away from Mr. Jeremy.
Yeah, and I want to make a quick note. It was a really good buy from Kaiserma to get that Bramble Best right away.
Oh, Ricky, I don't know if you can do this. He can't. He's going to go down to the red buff. Oh, that's so unlucky.
Poor Ricky.
Oh, poor Ricky. That's really unfortunate. That's going to be very unfortunate at 9 minutes to get killed at that situation. That means that's not a back anymore. That's considered like 12 or 13 seconds of a wait time, which means that is a bit of a waste of time for the jungler to make such a drastic mistake.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's
Jeremy really putting a lot of effort onto Kaiserma, lowering that health bar.
Yeah, those axes are starting to do a bit of damage to him. But as I was saying, that Bramble Vest on someone like Olaf, who is going to be auto-attacking you a little bit, having that early Grievous Wounds is going to be pretty good, especially because Olaf's W actually gives him increased healing.
Right, I even would suggest grabbing yourself not only a Bramble, but also grabbing yourself a Ninja Tabby, because you're not only are you Shen, but you're facing against a heavy auto-attacking champion. You might as well have a Ninja Tabby.
Yeah, I would expect to see that.
That will negate some of the damage that Jeremy will be consistently auto-attacking with. but Jeremy does still have true damage, which means he can still harm Shen regardless to his health bar. It looks like he's going to use his ultimate to get the extra movement speed, but Kaiser Ma will not be able to get himself out of this one as Ricky does expend the ultimate to make sure that that's a kill for him.
Yeah, very well played by Ricky. He waited for Shen to use the taunt away, and then he followed it up with his Q. And then they also managed to burn his flash, which Ricky followed up with his ultimate. So just good patience from Ricky on that gank.
Indeed. So we're looking at the farm situation going on right now, and it looks like Emmy Alice is currently farming quite well against Animaniac at this time with a 100 farm lead.
100
looks like
farm lead already.
Right, and Mr. Jeremy trying to bait out Hamcam to taking him on in a fair fight. Good friends between those two, Mr. Jeremy and Hamcam. They've got themselves good chemistry, good teamwork. Guess they're just kind of playfully talking to each other a little bit. Anyway, back onto the topic at hand, farm-wise. Syndra currently has a 10 CS lead against the Kennen, but Kennen's 2 kills now puts him ahead in total amount here, as we can take a look at the numbers here. 500 gold lead against Syndra.
Yeah, that's a decent early lead. It's obviously not going to equate to a whole lot unless he can use it to his advantage, but...
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not sure we're going to see that aggression without a gank.
Interesting decision here. Syndra decides to go with the Warding Smite, but does not switch out of the yellow trinket that Ricky Ninja has. That's kind of interesting. I thought he would have went with the lens there, but maybe he'll get it on the way back. Pretty closely contested matchup despite the slight farming differences between both the laners.
Slight farming difference and a couple of kills for Guardian, but we'll see if they can utilize that to get bigger advantages. Ricky's been having a great game so far, and outside of dying to red buff, he's done a pretty good job of getting his mid and top lanes ahead.
Looks like Hamcam is now aware of the control ward no longer being there. Wants to go take his blue instead of trying to set up a play on Mr. Jeremy. Reveals his location by using the plant, but Mr. Jeremy doesn't seem to mind about that idea at all. He's going to use his ultimate to bail himself out of this one. I don't think Hamcam or Kaiserma could stop him or do any extra damage, and decided to follow him regardless in case he decides to do a turn.
Yeah, very hard to get a lockdown onto Olaf, and now we're seeing a gank in bot lane from Ricky.
Once again, the ganking attempt has failed because of the 2 control wards that are placed in that river. Hamcam's coming back in again. It's going to be another fight. The damage is coming through from the 2 of them, and Mr. Jeremy's losing a lot of health bar. It's going to be an ult used to get some good damage. Hamcam uses it to get just enough to take out Mr. Jeremy and his very tanky situation up there.
Yeah, Hamcam, pretty risky going in on the tower dive there, but he does get away with his life and a kill, so well played. It's a little bit of something back for Ricky's time in the bot lane there.
Right now, Ares is apparently getting some extra poke here, but is taking just as much, if not more, back from Animaniac, who does not like Ares. Sorry, Mr. Jeremy. I'm so used to him being the AD carry. Ares being pressured. Yeah, I'm so used to Emmy Alice being the support and Mr. Jeremy being AD carry, but, you know, situations are tough for Guardian Gaming. I'm sure they're going to get a lot more practice in, maybe some new staff members to reorganize themselves in their situation. I would dare say it would even be wise to just get some practice with their new team, because they might be able to get themselves some good wins if they have, like, a little bit more practice at every position.
Yeah, and they've been playing pretty well this
game.
It
goes off, and it does connect to the target here. Shen's here to the reinforcement. Can Animaniac? Yes, he will barely get out of there. And it looks like the gank has once again barely, and I mean by the slimmest of margins, have backfired.
Yeah, it's a pretty long cooldown on the Shen ultimate. Pretty much just to save a teammate.
Indeed.
It's nice to use that ultimate a little bit more proactively, you know, as opposed to trying to save someone with it. But
it is a little difficult, to be honest, to get that exactly set up correctly. It's really hard because you gotta, like, you're using a lot of resources to even, you know, go from one lane to the other instantly to make sure the pressure remains on each side. But one of the big things is Shen right now, he has a Bramble. He's going to go for the Thornmail first item, and I think that's a very bad decision, but it is what it is. Mr. Jeremy is going to be taking some big damage because he uses his ultimate, but it's going to be enough on the return. Mr. Jeremy does not go down as he survives the onslaught of Hamcam and Kaiserma.
Yeah, good escape from him. A little bit too far forward, but Rek'Sai is one of those sneaky gank path champions. Kind of similar to Zac. You kind of need to get some deep rewards to completely know where he's at.
Well, it looks like
She's at.
right, and it looks like Ricky Ninja confirms the Rift. Confirms the location of the Rift Herald with his own award that he doesn't seem to be able to use currently. Since he's completely out of wards, makes sense to me. To get yourself a small little vision cone with the Scuttle Crab.
And as you mentioned, Ricky does have a tracker's knife, so I would expect him to swap over to a sweeping lens here at some point, but...
Yes, definitely. But, you know, 3 wards, he still technically has a Sightstone's worth of wards right now, and will end up having more than the average Sightstone ward, so perhaps he's just trying to increase the vision of the area around him. Which, I don't know, I would expect to be very good against Hamcam, but at the same time, I'm not entirely sure. Looks like Mr. Jeremy completely convinces Kaiser to leave the top lane through axe tosses, and down goes another axe, and finally Kaiserma will step out of there.
Yeah, those axes are starting to hurt a little bit. He does finish the Thornmail on his back here, Kaiserma does. So we'll see if that was the right choice, or if he should have gone for the Ninja Tabis first.
Sejuani currently in position here for the Infernal Drake. It's going to be the biggest question right now to see what the next step is, as Mr. Jeremy is getting some good damage onto that tower. You know, Mr. Jeremy's decision to go extra cooldowns instead of trying to, you know, go for a Tiamat or like something with AoE Splash, it's a bit surprising, but I can understand why he wants to do something like a safer option than, you know, more cooldowns in Mr. Jeremy's mind is clearly the better option.
He's getting quite a bit of damage out onto Kaiserma with it, to just throw the axes as frequently as possible, I guess.
Uh-oh, Mr. Jeremy's going to be tanking tower while Kaiserma is hitting him. That's one of the big advantages of Shen right there. Just able to get, force the enemy to take multiple forms of damage from towers, minions, and Shen all at once when enemies are a little bit too close to that tower range. It looks like Mr. Jeremy is going to fight a little bit more with Kaiserma, and now Kaiserma has himself a completed Thornmail first buy, and I don't know, it's still a bit of a mystery that he decided to not just go for the boots, you know? Like, just having a Bramble, I think, is good, and then Sunfire Cape, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Jeremy's still kind of coming out ahead in these fights, partially because of the fact that he does have the built-in lifesteal. They're trading relatively evenly, but he's going to get more lifesteal out of this, so...
Yeah, I know
it's all advantage.
I know exactly what you mean here. That's why it's like having a Bramble is great, because it makes it so that way it negates a portion, a small portion of his lifesteal, which is, oh my goodness, it's Tits is actually going to get completely overwhelmed here. Oh my goodness, just as I was like a little bit assuming it's Tits was going to get out of there, fine, but Jake's completely overwhelmed It's Tits and caught him completely off balance.
Yeah, I got a couple good crits there at the end and landed a good ultimate just to finish him off. I actually thought he was going to get himself out of there safely too, but...
Speaking of this, it looks like they're going to go ahead and grab themselves an Infernal Drake. Here comes Rek'Sai to try to maybe go for a steal here as Kaiserma is sporting a fight with Mr. Jeremy. It's going to be a fight that I believe Mr. Jeremy might be able to come out on top because of that incredible life stealing.
Yeah, I think he almost could have killed him if he had just turned back for a split second to grab that axe and throw it right away again.
Yeah, maybe the true damage proc on top of that would guarantee it, but Mr. Jeremy definitely wants to play it safe. He definitely wants to have himself enough cooldowns and mana in case something else is going to happen. He wants to make sure this tower is coming down, so he doesn't want to make any minor mistakes, like forcing a fight that he might not be able to win thanks to a Thornmail. But this is also because of the fact that Hamcam is coming around the flank here. He uses a flash. It's going to be Mr. Jeremy not surviving. Unfortunate for Mr. Jeremy. He uses his ultimate immediately just to let some time between Hamcam and himself to try to get some extra dash out, but it was not fast enough, and Hamcam will end up diving right on top of Mr. Jeremy so quickly that there was just no opportunity for him.
Hamcam's putting a lot of pressure into the top lane onto Mr. Jeremy.
Indeed, where Kaiser Ma is really probably heard what we were talking about the other day when we were when I was mentioning about his Thornmail build previously. See, the problem was I liked having a Bramble and then going into the Sunfire Cape, because a Bramble is just going to, you know, reduce the tick, and if they hit you, it's also tick on top of that. But then to go Cinder Hulk, you know, immediately after that is where it's like you have yourself a miniature Sunfire Cape, like right there, if they're hitting you and they're close. But maybe he just doesn't seem to understand that. It looks like Animaniac is going to get caught in the confusion of that CC wave. Its Tits is going to also go down here as Ricky Ninja has finally got the gank he's been trying at bot side to work very well, as it looks like it'll be a bit of a race for the tower here. It's going to be a defendable position for Hamcam, as he needs to do everything he can to prevent Mr. Jeremy from getting the first tower, because he does his job and stops Mr. Jeremy from getting that opportunity. But Mr. Jeremy is way stronger than Hamcam right now, and I hope he realizes that.
Yeah, I think Hamcam's going to want to back off. Now he's going to get the taunt in probably from behind. Oh, he's going to miss the taunt.
Indeed. Close,
What?
close.
Guardian going to come away with 2 towers out of this as well, in the bot lane, and possibly even the top tower soon. Huge
Mr.
advantage
Jeremy
for Guardian.
Is clearly able to do damage through his Qs and through his Es, and he's showing Kaiser Ma that I can tank through your tank through that armor that you've got, and I'm also going to be able to cut through it too.
Yeah, the Black Cleaver early I really like on Olaf. I like on a lot of the bruisers actually right now. It's just such a strong item, especially against tanks.
Mr. Jeremy's taking a bit of tower here, but not for long, as Kaiser Ma is going to get a big fight with Mr. Jeremy. Mr. Jeremy's damage is not enough! Yes, it is!
No.
It's a trade at topside!
1-for-1 small advantage for Mr. Jeremy because he did get a tower, but I actually expected that to go a lot more into Mr. Jeremy's favor.
Yeah, I think it's because of the Thornmail situation, the armor, the Cinder Hulk. He just assumed he was going to be able to tank through that and the minions wave that he was in. But, I mean, it's quite obvious that Thornmail is still a very effective item against auto-attacking and sustaining champions. So he didn't get enough life back where he would naturally, without the Bramble and the Thornmail, he wouldn't have gotten, you know, enough back. He would have only gotten a very small amount. You know, he would have gotten, if that wasn't there, if he didn't go Thornmail, it would have been, Olaf would have won that because he could have easily sustained through the situation. But because the Thornmail was the first buy, completed out, Mr. Jeremy's not getting all the sustain back, and he's also taking damage from the Cinder and the Thornmail. Plus the minions, plus the auto attack percentage health damage. It's a close fight that Kaiser could have won, but did come down to the fact that his red minions were also fighting him at the same time. Very close scrimmage between the two of them that really could have been either way.
Yeah, and not surprisingly, Mr. Jeremy rushed a second item, Righteous Glory, so he wants to just run down the target of his choice pretty much here.
Indeed.
Great item on Olaf, I completely agree with that buy.
Right, especially considering he's going to be a main enforcing engager who needs to get to the back line to get that Tristana and Nami out of the fight quickly. Even Syndra, I think it's a very wise decision considering how far Digital Monster is in money. I mean, you can look at this right now, 236 farm at 25 minutes. Very impressive stuff, as it looks like the two mid laners have stopped trying to kill each other and started focusing on farm.
Yeah, they're both at almost 10 per minute on average, just a little bit underneath it, but you do have the 2 kills for Lunar Gecko here to kind of even out that slight farm differential. It's really not that much.
Very slight.
But
I'm actually kind of surprised Kennen didn't want to make more attempts at Syndra's life here. I think Digital Monster, since he got himself a Banshee's Veil, really made it, made Kennen think that there's no opportunity for an attempt at Syndra's life, so he just didn't think about it. Well, what now? Syndra is currently in a bad spot here. It's going to be a lot of damage. The ult lands onto Syndra here. It's going to be the Shen ult coming in the nick of time. The taunt has landed. Mr. Jeremy chasing after a very defenseless Syndra as he gets himself a double kill. It's going to be Animaniac getting himself his own double kill as he's going to be fighting a very tanky Syndra. I mean, sorry, Sejuani, I should say.
It's a little bit of a chaotic fight there. Action happening kind of all over the place.
All right, I'm slipping all over the place with names today as well. DC has landed, and there is no chance at all that Shen's buying himself out of that situation, thanks to the very well placed CC by Sejuani.
Yeah, Animaniac managed to barely get away with his life there, but they are going to lose that fight overall, and it looks like they're going to lose this dragon as well. Unless we see a steal from HamCam. He certainly knows that
extremely possible, and it is 100% likely that this could happen. He's going to try for it. He was close, but he apparently didn't have a tunnel back. He didn't have a tunnel to go back? Oh, no. I thought he had a tunnel.
I'm pretty sure he took the blast cone over. I thought he should have had a tunnel.
Maybe he misclicked, perhaps? That's actually really shocking. I thought he was going to get out of there for sure.
I bet he accidentally came unburrowed and was waiting for cooldown on that.
One thing I think is a pretty smart decision from Ricky Ninja here, going with a Warmong's armor. I think it's 100% the right call here. They have burst, which means he'll be taking some damage as he should, but we'll be able to get it all back by the time the fight is concluded, regardless of the situation. And Sejuani being alive is really smart. Mr. Jeremy is literally a massive, giant beast of a man as he goes his way through an entire front line of 3 guys as they mow down the carries and bot lane.
That's a very scary Olaf right now. He's actually up 40 CS now, and he's got 6 kills. He just doesn't care anymore. He's just going to run straight lines at them.
Well, it looks like they're moving themselves over to Baron, I believe is the call here. Yep, here we go. They're moving right on top of it. They don't really seem to be worried about HamCam's stealing attempt or Kaiserma and his attempt to protect his ally. HamCam's not going to be able to get in position, though. As he tries desperately to get there, he's going to be late. And it's going to be Guardian Gaming securing the Drake for sure.
HamCam might actually die for this if Sedge can get a Q
Here
off
comes Ares with the slow. That's going to guarantee the end of HamCam's life. He uses Courage of the Colossus to buy himself a couple of seconds here. No extra movement speed because he's walking. She's walking now because of the, because of Rek'Sai's natural. When he's above ground, when Rek'Sai is above ground, he moves slower. But when when Rek'Sai is underground, he moves quicker.
I would say all around great play from Guardian.
I'm messing up all over the place.
I know. It's alright, it's nothing out of the ordinary. We're used to it by now.
I see what you're saying. It's even more sloppier that it's kind of just like waking up and getting used to the whole groove of trying to be correct grammatically.
God, Jeremy just got a dead man's plate in that back, so...
Oh my goodness, he just wants to immediately get to where he wants to go before anyone can say anything to him. He wants to just get there fast.
He's starting to look like an Olaf right about now. He's got the movement speed to get onto the target of his choice, really, whoever he feels like.
I believe...
He's doing a lot of damage, too.
Well, if you're looking for a support right now, Ricky Ninja is clearly being one. 0, 1, and 12 in these matchups so far.
Yeah, he's been having a really good game.
it looks like Ricky Ninja and Mr. Jeremy, I believe, are focusing on the tower. They're not going to make an engage here, but maybe they are. Here comes a big fight all over the map here, as it looks like Lunar Echo is apparently using a Zhonya's right away. Kaiser Ma is trying to get him to stop hitting that tower and stop auto-attacking, but Jinx is not going to have that happen. It's going to be a double kill, and 4 members of Always Hostile going down here as Guardian Gaming has gotten the groove that they wanted, and they might be able to win off of this. They have themselves a inhib coming down here fast, and it looks like an inhibitor might not be enough. They're going for the Nexus towers. They're going to go for the win here. I think it's the right call. Let's see if that's going to work out for them. The Nexus towers fall almost as quickly, actually so incredibly quickly, I couldn't even finish my sentence. The Nexus immediately drops, and Guardian Gaming wins the first game of the Super Week on Sunday.
Yeah, that was, I would say, a really well-played game all around from Guardian. They looked really, really solid. Looks like they didn't really miss a beat after yesterday. They had a bit of a rough game in the early game, but certainly came back and
rebounded
showed they
very
weren't
nicely. Got some great coordination, great engages, great damage coming out there as well. We got to pick ourselves an MVP, and just like yesterday, there'll be no interview because we don't have enough time. We need to get immediately ready for the next game here because it looks like it's already approaching 2 p.m. on the nose, so we got to get right into the next game after that, which is another Guardian Gaming game. So we get to see if they can carry on with this MVP decision. I think Ricky Ninja and his incredible well-timed ultimates, his persistence had led him to become the MVP of this game. But we can also say the same thing about Lunar Echo. What do you think?
There was a lot of great play, pretty much from everybody on GG. I would say I agree. Ricky was showing some great patience in his ganks, using his Qs at the right time, and then following up with ultimates when they were flashing.
Mm-hmm.
Just waited it out till the perfect time and was able to secure kills with that. He got pretty much every lane ahead because of it, and his one death there was to the red buff. So actually didn't die to anyone on Always Hostile. Played well when there was fighting happening. Just one mistake around red buff.
Right, and sometimes that's all that happens, really. And that's the kind of the funny thing. He would have went 0-0 and 15 if it wasn't for that one fatal mistake at red buff. Unfortunate stuff. But so we're saying Ricky Ninja didn't get the MVP. We're saying Lunar Echo.
I say Ricky Ninja.
Okay.
I say Ricky.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he set up every lane to win pretty well. Granted, Lunar Gecko did a great job of responding when it looked like Ricky was going to be caught out, and he got a double kill, and it just kind of snowballed from there for him.
Not to mention the fact that Mr. Jeremy carried his own lane, dealing with a heavily pressured ham-cam top line, not once, not twice, but 5 times, I believe, throughout the game. All right, guys, well, that's going to be settling for game 1 of this situation. And let's go ahead and get ourselves prepared for the 2 p.m. game. We'll see you guys coming up very soon. Goodbye for now.
See ya.